Yes, people. Big up. 12 man's back. Race for Europe is back. We've got a full panel. We've got an elite panel. And it's going to be interesting tonight to see what people have got to say now that the season is done, now that the season is over. There was no This Is London last night, as we didn't get a chance to speak to Don, Deji, Lawless, or D, but that will happen. Don't worry about that. And big up to everyone that's here. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you're following every single one of these people, man. We're on the road to 50k, which is insane. So if we keep going the way that things are going, you guys are moving mad. We're going to get there pretty soon. So big up to everyone that's a part of the 12 man community already. First, before we get into anything, as you can see, Errol will not be with us tonight. Now, we have spoken to Errol, and Errol is absolutely fine. There's been horrendous scenes in the last hour over at the Liverpool parade. All we know is a car has collided with pedestrians after the parade. We don't know any more than that. We don't know why it's happened, how it's happened. And we, if I'm honest, don't want to know. All we really care about is that everyone else is okay that's involved in this scenario. And I think everybody on here can agree with me and echo that we want to make sure that everyone's safe, everyone's well, and our thoughts go out to everybody that's been involved in that incident, has witnessed that incident, or has been affected by that incident. Understandably, Errol's taken some time off tonight. He was going to jump on because this should be a celebration for him. And unfortunately, we can't celebrate with him tonight because this incident has kind of put a bit of a dampener on it, to be honest. Hopefully it won't put a dampener on tonight's show. Hopefully it'll still be as entertaining as ever. The guys will be on full swing, I'm sure. But I think we had to start there. I don't know if anyone on the panel wants to come in with anything, but it's been quite horrific the last 45 minutes to an hour, boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's ruined the celebration day that they've deserved, and this is what it's going to be remembered for, which is absolutely horrific. So hope everyone involved is safe.
Yeah, and I'll just say this as well, yeah, don't be sharing the video, innit? If you want to tweet like your thoughts and prayers, do it on a separate tweet, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think they've been taking them down.
Don't be tweeting the actual video, man, innit?
If what people are doing at the moment is if they're seeing the videos, they're reporting it. It doesn't matter what channel is putting it out there, what account is putting it out there, they're reporting it because look, there's friends and families that may not be in the city or in the vicinity that know that a family member's there and they are stressing out and it's causing unnecessary stress. So taking that video down is the best thing right now. People don't need to be seeing that. It doesn't need to be exposed to us. It doesn't need to be exposed to any young people that could be watching that sort of scene. It's not pleasant. It's not good. And we don't know the conditions of the victims of that incident. So we just need to be making sure we're doing the right thing. But prayers to everyone, victims, families, everybody that was there and had to witness that horrible scene.
Yeah, horrendous. I was on the phone to my dad and literally just put it down, and I saw your text, Pete, on the group saying, I've just seen this, and I opened it, couldn't believe my eyes. It was absolutely crazy. And I hope everyone's all right and that they get to deal with it appropriately. And I would agree. Let's make sure that we pay our respects, and we needed to start with that, people. So big up to everybody in the chat as well. That's that's sent their thoughts and prayers as well. Look, we are going to move into tonight's show. We've got a full panel. We've got an elite panel. There's no Errol tonight for obvious reasons, as I'd explained. He is safe and well for those that are just joining. We have spoken to him. He wasn't involved in that incident. He was actually inside the building when that was occurring. So him and his family and his loved ones are safe. So that's what matters as far as we're concerned as one of his friends. And thoughts go out to everybody over in Liverpool. Let's start, shall we? Because Deji, I haven't been able to say well done to you properly yet, bro. I was going to pay my respects and be a good friend to you. Not that I like Tottenham or your club yesterday, but I was going to, but we didn't get a chance to do the show yesterday. It was a bit of a mad day for everyone. There was unavailability, so I thought we'd do it tonight, my bro.
I find it quite amusing that the two most irrelevant teams on this panel have so much chess to say to my football club. Spurs are just a complete laughing stock. We all know that Spurs are going to get absolutely cooked in the Europa League final. So Deji's just getting the pre-cooking in now, because when he comes on the show after Europa League final, he will be getting absolutely rinsed because his team wins absolutely nothing. We all know that's a formality.
Me and Dan have a 50% chance of winning the trophy. That's more than what you.
No. You ain't winning shit.
That's
Mate,
more than
you
you.
go there and you'll bottle it.
No,
like you
I don't want
do.
to hear your opinion. At the moment,
It's not an opinion. It's a factual information.
Wait.
I want Spurs to win, of course, but I know for a fact Spurs are getting absolutely cooked. It'll be at least 3-0 United, mate. Yeah, because United are bottle jobs. Yeah, United in their shittest ever era have still won 2 trophies. Yeah, you win shit, mate. You don't know what it's like to win a trophy, Dej. Can I just say quickly, first of all, right, that is naughty work from you, Dan Potts.
It's not me, it's Sam. It's not me, it's Sam. It's Sam.
Sam, that is incredibly naughty work, right? Because one, the only reason I had to send shots at my friend Deji is because that guy was cooking me for the loss against Palace. Yeah. So I wanted Spurs to win, and I am delighted Spurs won that cup final, and I could not be happier for my friend Deji. But when a man sends shots at you, you can't just stand there. You have to duck and fire them back. And that's exactly what happened, bro. You know what I'm saying last week? So I don't know what sort of cooking that is because I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing Deji one, innit?
No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that.
No.
Oh, no,
You
don't get hold on, you didn't get to say
No. I stood by Deji while you lot were talking about United. I stood by him. I stood by him. So you can't now play this whole I wanted Spurs to win, LB. You can't play that.
Nice to see you've got a voice all of a sudden, Wolfie.
Wolfie, you won't be saying anything, mate. You will sit there and you will wait to be addressed.
Disappeared.
You're finished. You are finished.
The disrespect to Deji, though.
You will finish. You will be. I guarantee you finish bottom half of the table next year. Guaranteed.
Oh, Sam, clip him up. I mean, if you got any room left on your hard drive with these LB, future visions, man.
Look, let's pay respect. Go on, Deji. Go on.
I mean, look, I'm smiling and I'm grateful. I think the last part of that clip said, "You don't know what it feels like to win a trophy." Well, I only gone and did it. You know what I mean? I've only gone and picked up the Europa League, and I have to say, shamelessly on this panel, you know, I'm up there with the very best of you. For those of us that will be playing Champions League football, welcome. Do you get what I'm saying? Welcome, and welcome. And obviously, I would have to say, LB, and this is just my polite rebuttal to you. I think one of the most shameless things that I saw from your club. Look, hear me out. This season has been the dustiest season in recent year for Man City or Plymouth, should I say. And I thought it was a disgrace that this season is when they chose to put the 4 trophies on the player bus. What are we doing here? Why are they putting images of the 4P on the players' bus?
Does my club live rent-free in your head? You've just won the first trophy in 17 years, and within 2 minutes of you getting to cook and do whatever, you're speaking about my club again.
LB, I'm just saying, why don't your club have some balls and take the L like everyone else would take the L on this panel? That bus should have just had the City badge. That's it. Don't be putting up 4 trophies. Those 4 trophies ended last season. This season, you didn't pick up anything. By your measure, LB, because you've been teaching me, remember, you were teaching me about the schools of trophy. You were telling me how important it is to win a trophy. We were having discussions about the weight of trophy.
Yeah.
You didn't win a trophy.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yes,
that's
correct.
The truth. So I had a better season than City. I will see you in the Champions League. I'm also playing in the Super Cup. And all of a sudden, the amount of congratulations that I've been getting has been too much. I've been unable to reply them all. But don't worry. Over the next 2-3 months, for those of you that have been DMing me and doing direct messaging, don't worry, I will get back to you shortly. But all of you can hold that, because I knew this day would come. I knew that my manager will get the job done, get it over the line. Did you see what we did? Did you see what we did? Hold that. And I have to say, barring Liverpool, who can chat to me?
Me.
No, you
I
can't.
can chat to you. I can chat to you. What?
You don't. You did good.
Did the same thing. Shut up. What are you on about?
You did well, but your trophy ain't. There's levels to this trophy thing, Pete. I'm sorry, bro. There's levels to this trophy.
Okay. So now there's levels to it. Now there's levels.
There's always been levels.
Ain't it harder to beat Liverpool in the final than Man United?
The easiest Europa League to win in all time.
I played in Europe for my final. That's what I played in Europe for my final. Look,
Pete, didn't Newcastle have to beat Arsenal and Liverpool to win it?
And Chelsea.
Beat Bodo Glimt
and Forest.
And Forest, yeah. And Brentford.
Deji, have some respect for Pete. That's all I'm saying.
No. I respect Pete. I do respect Pete. Don't get it twisted.
So put me on an equal level then. Don't belittle what we've done.
All right, fair. Let's be equal. But what I wasn't gonna have is somebody tell me that Newcastle outshone Spurs this season. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Deji, don't say that. Don't say that. 22 losses, brother. Don't say that.
22 losses.
Don't
the
say
only
that.
thing I would say is that my manager had a plan. He had a game plan. It was roulette football. Let's be real. The plan might not have worked, but the game plan was win the Europa and get 2 for the price of 1. Right now, Arsenal fans wish they were in my shoes. Right now, LB wishes he was in my shoes. Right now, Wolfie wishes in my shoes. Right now, the most quietest person on this panel, because he thinks I'm ignoring him, and he was the first person to congratulate me. Billy wishes he was on my side of the fence.
Mate, I've been very vocal in that group chat.
So I'm just saying, everybody, he who laughs last laughs best. And in the end, it didn't really matter, like Linkin Park. I have the last laugh. I'm in the Champions League, and everyone can hold that.
Well, jokes on you, that was never a line in a Linkin
Park.
Just so you know. Don't ever remember Chester Bennington singing about fucking Europa League, mate. So, yeah.
Dan, just so you know, out of respect, thank you for being a great sport. Dan as well congratulated me in the chat. It was like, Dej, well done. Your team did it. And in that moment, I was like, what a man. Do you know what I mean? In that moment of pain, you were able to reach out to your rival and say, well done. And then it dawned on me that for Race for Europe, on that intro, Dan is going to be removed. And I'm not going to lie, that hurts me. That really hurts me. But at the same time, Dan United first, it was a pleasure. It's been great. And I hope that Amarin is not a waffler. And I hope this is the end of your rap and that you guys will bring it back eventually. You've been a legend for the United fan base, and it's a shame I ain't gonna see you again, mate. It's a shame.
Before you come in, Dan, can I just say anybody who wanted Tottenham to win this Europa League now regrets saying they wanted Tottenham to win the Europa League because of fans like George and Deji and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, go on, Dan, please.
Deji, I'd like to point something out, my friend. It hurt. It hurt. I can't even lie. I was messing. Honestly, I think Potts had to do a welfare check on me in the end. It hurt. It really hurt. It's tears. Just. But you know something? Actually, I've got to apologise to everyone on this panel. I've got to apologise to everyone in the chat. Because I think what I did was I utilised that last remaining bit of entitlement of the old days to say, we're going to win the cup. Of course we are. Of course we're going to get in the Champions League. Of course it's going to happen. I got it wrong. It hurts. It absolutely, it's destroyed me. And I will say this. This is me being real. The boys on this channel, the people in the chat, you've been a big part of sometimes when stuff's gone crap, you know, in my life. This has been a release. You've all been a fantastic group of people to me. So I appreciate every one of you. What I will say, Deji, is you said about the rut being, you know, hopefully the rut comes to an end. Brother, it come to an end because we knocked Billy out the Champions League. This was like the fairy tale of all fairy tales. This guy has given me nothing but shit since he moseyed on into this channel. I had to go through the well, we might struggle against Hibs days. I had to go to the We'll Meet Again singing songs days. And it was Avengers-esque endgame fucking finale that Manchester United 2-0 Billy Europa League. I couldn't have, if I was going to go on any way, if I could have dreamed about going out in any way. And Billy, I know you're going to come back with, well, at least I'll still be on the show next year. That's fine, mate. I'll be a fan. I'll be in the comments. But if I could have gone out in any way, if you'd have offered me to lose the Europa League final but knock Billy out of Champions League, I've got to say, guys, I'm taking that and I'm running to the bank. I am. So,
well, do you know what, Dan? Right? It's
even by
good.
cheating,
it's quite good. It's quite good
Wolfie,
timing.
Wolfie, sorry, Potts. Wolfie.
That makes it even sweeter.
I'm gonna go full lawless here. The OGs of the chat will know what I'm talking about. I'm coming in close with this, right? When my team fucked up, I was there every time. Every step of the way, through the 7-0s, the 6-2s, the 4-1s, the 5-1s. When your team fucked up, and fucked up they did, with that Champions League place, when you were third, and you were telling me, you were telling everyone here that you were going to win the fucking competition. Guess what happened? Your phone must have got dropped down the toilet. You disappeared.
Mate.
You disappeared. You disappeared.
Donna Houdini didn't answer my calls.
Well, actually, I spoke with Dan. I did speak with Dan yesterday.
Let me just before you go further, because it's the last show. There's someone that wanted to come on and join us.
Yes!
I had to be here for Dan's exit. You know what I mean? It's a special occasion.
These are real, Lawless. These are real, my man. Oh, yes.
Come and see him on. Had to hold a few people accountable. And yes, I'm going to be holding someone who thinks they're going to be cooking me. There's a certain fan who may have won a trophy that thinks they're going to switch it on me. He's got another thing coming. That's what I have to say. Didn't have no This Is London this week, so here I am.
What do you want to say then, Lawless? Because I guess you're coming for Deji and trying to give him a reality check or something. What are you saying?
No, well, listen, Joe. I mean, I was waiting. I thought Deji was gonna, come and try and cook me and tell me how they've got a trophy. I don't know if you had any words for me first, Deji.
You've just got it, mate. You're gonna get cooked. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, you know what? Then all I'm gonna say is, Deji, is this.
Should I start? Do you want me to start? You have some material. You need some material. I told everyone at the beginning of the season that West Ham or West Spam is one of the dustiest teams I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to have to include Billy in this. Billy, you're a great bloke. And can I just tell you what I've been struggling with all season? I just need to be honest. I've been struggling having to be on a panel with people whose shirts are claret and blue. Those colors don't make sense to me. They're some of the worst color combinations I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's your backdrop.
Performances follow dust.
Your background. Look at the coloring.
No,
your backdrop. You can't go. You can't say that.
It works for my background. It doesn't work for a football kit. West Ham, Lawless. I'm not gonna lie. That show that we asked you to do, Sense and Sensibility. Your team is rubbish. I don't know how you stream. I don't know what you talk about. I don't know how you can react to a team that is so dusty.
We won yesterday.
And then
you
Billy,
didn't. We won.
I was the one that told you from the beginning of the season, I didn't expect anything from your club. And right at the last hour, Aston Villa turned up and did exactly what we knew that they were going to do. They did absolutely nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, you're in race for Europe, but you're not in the Champions League. As for you, Lawless, you're in This Is London only because your team is based in Stratford. If not for that, bro, you wouldn't be here either, bro. So I want you to hold that. And let me just tell you this. You were telling me about your Europa Conference League, how it was a big deal. Man won the Europa League. Man's in the Super Cup. Can I ask you a question? When you won the Europa Conference League, what tournament competition did you play after?
The Europa League.
Nothing, bro. Nothing. You didn't.
Europa League. What are you on about?
You didn't play. You weren't any closer to the Champions League. What players were you able to bring in? Rubbish players. So I want you, Lawless, to hold that, and hold that. You wish you could be in my shoes. Now you can never chat to me. You are
Deji. Stop this. You won a cup competition and you were worse than us in the league. Worse than Manchester United. How can you sit there with this? Yes, I've won the cup. Mate, your manager, who was a joke, by the way, worse than my manager, comes out on his parade and goes, well, mate, if you like season 2, wait for season 3. That guy could be gone next week.
That was so cringy, man.
That guy could be gone next week.
Dan, I'm only giving the energy that I was given all season. When I was telling people I care about the league position, all you guys told me about the trophy. And let me tell you why I'm holding this energy. Because all you panelists, all of you on this channel, you cried for Pete when Newcastle picked up a Carabao Cup. You all cried and said how amazing it was as an achievement. And I agree with Pete. What an amazing achievement. If Newcastle winning the Carabao Cup was the best thing since sliced bread, then what is it for my club then?
let me bring you back down to reality here. Let me bring you right back down to reality. And this is
big up to Lee Gunner for the raid. Go on, Lawless. Big up to Lee Gunner for the raid every time.
I'm not going to hear nothing from you for several reasons. Let's just get the obvious ones out of the way. 22 league defeats, 25 defeats all season in total, right? You can't say that about my club, right? We have not lost that many games. We finished above you. Second of all, I am not hearing you shake this trophy, shake your bum for this trophy in my face because you've downplayed this trophy. We not interested in no dusty trophies, no Carabao Cups, no FA Cups, no
all season.
You have said that, Dej. You only want the majors.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
They won it. It's now major.
Yeah, it's a dusty trophy. In your own words, it's a dusty trophy. And you know what? Right? You want to talk about the Conference League that you've shat on for ages. Let's be real. You have won the conference version. This is UEFA Conference Plus. That's all it is. Like you say, yeah, Arsenal are the spicy Spurs. That is the spicy Conference League because the standard of it this year, look at those two teams that were in the final. The Conference League final is being played between two better teams than the Europa League final, right? In Chelsea and Betis. The quality of that final is better than your final. So don't ever downplay the Europa Conference League like that again when you've just won a spicier version of it. Last year when we was in the Europa League, do you know who we got knocked out by? By a Leverkusen. At the time, the best team in Europe. So don't sit there because you've got bozo glimpse and shit like that.
Can I just remind you, because clearly, Lawless, you don't do your research. Yeah. Let's go quickly to the Bundesliga. And I'm going to give you something to hold on to, yeah? Because you like to do this little thing. Bundesliga league table, yeah? Who finished third? Can someone get it out for me? Who finished third in the Bundesliga?
What, Frankfurt?
Where you going?
Oh! What was that, Charlie?
Frankfurt
finished third.
By how many
Hold
points?
Hold that.
Yeah, obviously they've been prioritising the league.
Football. We slapped them up. Yeah, just so you know, Athletic Bilbao, who Man United did a number on, yeah, is higher than Real Betis. So stop chatting your rubbish, mate. Stop talking your absolute.
But was it not between?
The truth is, I blame Dan for this. I blame Dan Potts for giving you a platform. When did we start giving West Ham platform? When did we start inviting West Ham at the big table?
When they're in the
and
race
when
for Europe.
Lawless has said that they have no intention of finishing in the top 6.
Did they finish above you this year? Did they finish above you this year?
What was the league table saying? What's the league table saying?
Dan Potts, I'm offended.
It's just a normal question, bro.
I'm offended because let me remind everyone.
And that's another bet I've won off you, by the way. That's another bet.
Lawless, because this thing tonight is about tonight is about standards. I'm going to go around every panelist and I'm going to ask you a simple question. And all I need is a yes or a no. I don't need you to elaborate and I don't need the monologue. I'm going to start with
Fucking hell, that's rich coming from you.
Are you ready? No. Let me ask the question. At the start of the season, what did you want for your club? Pete?
To win a trophy.
And?
To get Champions League.
Okay, so Newcastle to win a trophy, Champions League. LB? What did you want for your club at the start of the season?
Treble.
Treble. All right, fine. Treble. Dan?
Not a quad.
To finish above Leicester, and we did it. So jokes on.
just.
No trophy, yeah, no trophy.
No, of course I wanted European football. European football
and a trophy. Lawless.
Yeah, the same. Let me just say this. That means you're and in.
No,
you and or in. Tell me if you're and or in, yeah?
Because what fans get to sit here and say, I didn't want anything.
We're all gonna say
Lawless would. He said they were getting top 5.
We wanted a trophy and we wanted European.
Yes, Deji, he didn't want a trophy. He didn't want a trophy.
You didn't want a dusty trophy, Deji. You got a dusty trophy, so you didn't want that.
No, Lawless. I'm saying we all would have liked to have been in the Champions League and a trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Okay, so what I'm saying
That's
is,
what I
Deji,
achieved, so hold back.
But Deji, you can't say hold that. Because if it's such a great achievement, why do you want your manager out? Your manager has achieved you Champions League and a trophy. You're saying it's so great.
Lawless, when Moyes won you the conference, did you want him to stay?
I said, yeah, I did. In that immediate thing, I said, give him next season.
Really?
I gave him next season.
He did say that. He did say that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and then a month into the new season, what were you saying?
I'm not ungrateful. Well, eventually, because he had the new season, and
a month is eventually, yeah.
No, it was when we lost 6-0 to Arsenal, and I was like, nah, I'm not having this.
So that
was then, but he's not even giving him game one. He's not even giving him one game after delivering the great Champions League and a trophy, what we all dreamed of. Andrew's made all of our dreams come true for Spurs, but it's not good enough for Spurs. This team that has been in trophy exile for 17 years, it's not good enough. Angel,
I'll make my last comments because
wait, no, Deji, that's a good question actually. Where are you with Ange now then?
Look, it's very simple. I hold my club to high standards, and at the moment, I can't ignore the fact that our league performance this year was pathetic. It was very poor. I'm Ange gone, to be honest. I'm like, thank you very much. You've done a great job, but we're not about to allow you to Eric Ten Hag my club. So that's
humble yourself. Humble yourself.
Do you know humble myself? I am humble.
Yeah, when you check the WhatsApp group. I don't have my phone on me. Someone check the WhatsApp group and put it up on screen.
Billy, can you watch your tone when you speak to me? Yeah?
Someone check the WhatsApp group and put it up on screen.
You said hello. Oh, you Ange in there. Yeah. I can't know.
Okay, so Billy.
Oh,
Billy
shit, nice one for releasing my number, Dan.
Yeah.
You asked me to put the fucking message up.
I did. I can't tell.
Okay, he's put. Are you Ange in Dej? And Dej responds, "Yep."
Mate, I was in the moment.
Flip-flop.
In the moment, you asked me I just finished lifting.
So you act on emotion then as a football fan and content creator. So how do we know to believe anything that you're saying?
No. Look, can I be real? I think the worst thing to do is to always ask someone immediately after the fact. And now was asked that question immediately after. Ask me 24 hours, 48 hours.
If you're unable to compose yourself to answer a very simple question, then we can't believe anything that you're saying.
No, you could have at least said like, "Oh, I don't know." Ask me later. You was like, "Yeah."
Look, anyway, it's tonight.
How dare you want a manager sacked from your football club? Yeah, when he's won you a trophy, a European trophy, for the first time in 17 years.
Yeah. That 40 years in Europe.
Graceful.
It's called standards.
Wait, Deji, can I ask you then, Deji? So you're disappointed with the 17th position? Is that what it is, Avenge?
Look, I can't look. Let me be real with you, Wolfie. I am. And for me, although it was an amazing achievement in the Europa League, it slightly dampens the gloss on our achievement. I think I would have been more excited, more happy, more chest if we finished 8th with the Europa. I can't ignore the fact.
What sort of logic is that at all?
We were 17th, bro. It's taken away
Who
the gloss.
cares? Who
But
cares?
do you know the worst thing is, if you finish sixth, yeah, if he finished 6th and got no trophy,
Craig Super Chat, Craig Lee. Look at his Super Chat.
What waffle that is.
You would be
Craig Lee's got a mad stat on there, boys. Mad stat. Look at this from Craig Lee.
I can't even see it. Craig Lee.
I can't even click it on.
Why is bringing it up? Dej, can I ask you a question, Dej?
Yes, Wolf.
If you had finished 6th this season and didn't win the Europa League, would that have been acceptable?
That's what I was just saying.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Bollocks, man. That's bullshit.
Look,
you'd be calling for Ange's head if you finished 6th this season.
I would have been calling for his head. Let's be honest.
Wait. So you wouldn't be calling for his head if you'd finished 6th and not won the Europa?
Look at this.
Hey, look at that stat. The worst team no other team has stayed up after 22.
In my eyes, you're a relegation team. You're relegated.
That's wild.
So wait a minute, Deji, when you sit there and ask how I'm even on This Is London, you're effectively relegated, yeah? So don't ever you should be down there with Plymouth and teams like that. Yeah, so don't ask when you've been relegated. My team got relegated on 42 points, yeah? You haven't even made 40, mate.
No, I know that. I'm still.
He's gonna go there, Ginny. He's gonna go, innit? He is.
Look,
he's not.
He can't go after saying that. He just said season 3 is better than season 2. You look like that idiot.
Season 3.
I
hope he stays. I want to see what season 3 is all about. But
I think the proof is there. The last 18 months, after the 10 games that we started with, our form has been relatively pretty consistent, it's been poor. Yes, he got us a trophy. Me as a Spurs fan, I'll be saying to Ange, well done. You get to leave with your head held high. You said you always win in your second season, and you even did it at my club. Well done to you, mate.
You can't leave your head held high if he's sacked, though,
Deji. Genuinely believe to trust this. Now, the difference between me and Lawless and a few people on this panel is he got us a trophy, and I'm playing Champions League football. Some of you, West Ham are not even in Europe next year, so. Do you know what I mean? Hold that.
Deji, learn from someone who has been through it. My ex-manager won 2 trophies, and he should have been gone after winning the FA Cup.
That's why he's got to go.
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Those comments, though, Dan, those comments that he's said in that trophy parade, talking about season 3 and talking with all that chess, which Ange did,
he's not going.
That absolutely stinks of a man that's been told he's got another year.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that guy is not talking with that much chest unless he's been guaranteed another year at top.
I actually think that Ange is pleading to stay. That's why he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's saying, I always win in my second season.
Do you still want Ange on that?
He's pleading, bro. He's saying, if you allow me to continue, let me show you what I can do.
Does he not deserve a chance, though, Dej? Why does he not deserve a chance, though? He's just won you a European trophy.
Because
bro,
you guys just told me, look, I'm just going to... Let me tell you
he's the best Spurs manager in your lifetime. Facts.
Lawless, Lawless told me that the competition wasn't that great. Let's be real. We only won 1-0 on the night.
Do you think the competition was great, though?
Only won 1-0 on the night. Are you hearing what this guy is saying?
I wasn't. Look, if we I was over the moon that we got the job done, but I wasn't moved.
Deji, at the start of the season, what do you think Ange's objectives were? Levy sits him down. What does he say your objectives are?
His objective was to get Champions League football and, if possible, win a trophy.
So has he met his objectives?
He's done it.
Okay. So could you imagine going into your appraisal at work, right, at the end of the year, where they've set your objectives, you've ticked each objective off, and they said, thank you for hitting your targets and your objectives. Now get out.
No, Wolfie, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I think that's why I made the point earlier and you lot laughed. I think if Tottenham had finished 8th and won the Europa League, I would have said to you he met the objective.
Yeah, but I said to you if he finished 6th and didn't win it.
Nobody was expecting Tottenham to finish 17th and say that was acceptable. Even when people said that was acceptable,
he's earned the right. Deji's earned the right to have another go at it by winning that trophy. And for you to sit there and say we only won 1-0 on the night is shameless, mate. That is actually a point.
Yeah, but
Glasner, because they only beat Man City 1-0.
Shameless. I'm acknowledging that United was good on the night.
Well, hold on, Deji. It's the 17th bit. That's the main reason, yeah. League position. That's the killer one for you, yeah.
Let me tell you, yeah. It's that, and we've got Dan United first said it, yeah. We've got precedence on this, yeah. Eric Ten Hag should have left after they won the FA Cup because he had won 2 trophies that, you know, sentiment creeped in. You gave him a chance and United are in the mud. The table does not lie. Tottenham is the 4th worst team according to the table. And this form has been consistent since we lost to Chelsea when we played with 9 men. That's when it started.
All right, so let me make you this offer. Let me make you this offer, Dej, right? Next season, you have the exact same results you had this season, and you finish 17th with 22 losses, but you win the Champions League. Will you take that offer?
Of course you would. 100% take that offer.
All right, so you're now saying 17 doesn't matter.
Can I just say something, guys? Honestly, look, we can all do the shameless stuff. I would feel slightly solid if Spurs finished 17th with a Champions League. Come on. Like, what are we doing here? That's rubbish.
All right, so what you're saying now is the league position ain't that relevant if the trophy on the other competition is good enough for you?
Bro, look, like I said, there's 2 major trophies for me in club football. Champs or Premier League.
Well, no,
Tottenham got to buy. No, Tottenham, though it can't happen, Spurs fans have been telling me they wouldn't accept 17th and the Carabao Cup next season. They wouldn't take it. Why is that?
I don't know how we as rival fans can sit here and say to Deji that he has to have Ange in there when he's watched his club lose 22 times.
22 times.
Yeah, but Dan,
that manager is the best manager he's ever had.
Exactly.
I disagree.
Exactly.
What do you mean you disagree? Who's a better manager?
Watch finished top 4 a few
times. I get what you're saying with a cup. Yeah, okay, they won the Europa League.
They
fantastic.
Needed that.
But Di Matteo won the fucking Champions League with Chelsea. We sang
it. And the problem is,
I'm not having
it. You're comparing apples and pears. This
I'm not having it. It's not the
exactly. The problem is, what are Spurs going to grow to? Exactly. Are Spurs going to grow into being title contenders year in, year out, challenging for the Champions League? No, they're not. This is the pinnacle of their achievement. And no other manager has done it in any of our lifetimes, because the last I saw them it wasn't even the Carling Cup, it was the Worthington Cup, wasn't it? This is the pinnacle of their achievement. He's done it. Poch, the guy they glaze about what a squad he built, and he had Harry Kane, by the way. Ange didn't. Ange didn't. He had Son in his prime. Ange didn't.
I'm not
Palace finished 12th and won an FA Cup.
No chance.
Palace aren't crying about their league position, are they? Because they won a trophy. It's amazing. The trophy's the big thing. Spurs should be in the
trophy's a big thing, but I'm going to tell you why I have standards. And
but you shouldn't. You're not standards.
What are you basing your standards on?
I mean, Lawless, don't chat to me. You're beneath me. Let me tell you this. I don't like the narrative just because you win a trophy that makes you automatically better than another manager. I would still say Poch did a better job with the Spurs team than Ange. Ange just won a trophy. That's the facts. That is the facts.
Won a trophy. Oh, he just won a trophy. It's
what's Poch going to be remembered for? What's Poch remembered for?
None of them could do it.
Deji, what's Poch remembered for?
We're going to pretend. We're going to pretend.
Poch got to a final and played Kane when he shouldn't have played Kane. Ange got to a final and benched Son in a final when he could have easily played him under some sort of sentiment thing and won you that trophy, yeah? This manager, yeah, I'll say it how it is, yeah? And if you disagree with this, for me, you're mad. That 17th position is absolute shambles, yeah? But the fact he's won that Europa League, for me, for me, earns him the right to have another crack at the whip. If you get to Christmas and he's outside the top 8, fairs, you ain't that guy. But just to not even give him a chance when this guy's brought you a Europa League for the first time in 17 years, get him some players in, and see what he does. And if he's not doing it by the end of Christmas, fair, sack him. But he's not. No, Dan, the reason why it's not the same as you, Dan, is because fucking disgusting coming out my mouth this. You're fucking Man United and they're Tottenham Hotspur. And with all due respect, Dan, Ten Hag won trophies, Mourinho's won trophies, Van Gaal's won trophies. Yeah, managers that haven't worked at Man United are farm trophies. This manager is the first manager out of Conte, Jose Mourinho, Pochettino that has managed to get that club across the line with the worst squad out of all of those managers. And it's shambolic what he's done, but he deserves another chance.
You sit here and say that he is the best manager they've ever had. I can't have that.
No, actually, he is. Actually, he is.
I can't have that. There's no chance he's the best manager they've ever had.
In his lifetime.
In the last, do you agree?
Say again.
Dan United, do you agree that he deserves another year for the fact that he won the trophy?
I don't think he does.
Not a chance. Not a year. No, I'm not saying a year. A chance. If it's going south by Christmas, Fairs get rid of him. He should be given a chance.
At least start the season to have a window.
Just give a chance.
Should Glasner be sacked? Should Glasner be sacked?
Why?
No.
Because
they finished 12th, right? And
they had a good season. By Crystal Palace standards, they've had a good season.
But you don't. You can't afford
big six. Can I just read out this statement, Dan Pot? There's a person called Ojam. He said the arrogance of LB and Wolfie to think they can dictate to Deji how he should feel and lawless piping up is just embarrassing. And I really, really thank you very much, Ojam.
We ain't told you how to feel. We're telling you what we think about the scenario.
Spurs is a big six team, and we need to be moving like big six. Ancelotti finished second in the league.
You're not a big six.
Stop this. Hang on a second. I've just seen a message in the chat by Wolfie. How are we all arguing about Spurs?
Yeah, it's time to move this on.
There is someone who told us he was getting Champions League and told us he was winning Champions League next season.
That's where I'm
going.
How
are we letting this guy get away with it?
Yeah.
How are we letting this guy
get coming
away
now.
Billy, when did you say that, Billy?
We're coming now.
I saw that, Wolfie. That all little point.
Billy, what are you saying, Billy?
Be right.
Would you run your mouth like that, Billy?
I'll have my say in a bit.
It would only be right for me to allow Charlie. It would only be right for me to allow Charlie to come in on this first, and then everyone can have their part. Because Charlie, big up to you, bro. Obviously, you beat Forest. You got the Champions League spot. Big up to Chelsea. Wolfie is, I mean, in the mud is a bit of an understatement, bro. With some of the stuff he's been saying, and I think me and Wolfie get on well. I've never really had much beef with Wolfie. He doesn't seem to cook me too much. It's all good. So I think it'd be wrong coming from me.
Remember that.
I'm saying I will do, bro. But Charlie and the panel, please feel free to talk about Nottingham Forest, who, let's be real, have bottled this big time. Go on, Charlie.
Well, firstly, Wolfie, I'm glad to see that you're okay, my friend. You disappeared from 5:45 p.m. yesterday, really, until you disappeared for a good 24 hours. I'm glad to see you're okay. I was thinking of sending a welfare check out for you. You weren't answering any of my calls outside the City ground.
My daughter was sick with a high temperature and vomiting.
You weren't answering any of my calls outside the City ground, which I thought was disappointing. And you were even saying, mate, before the game, you've got Billy, you've got him. You're going to do him a favour. Don't worry, guys. I've got this. I'm going to be playing Champions League. And actually, not a single person on this panel, I think, said that my team was going to make the Champions League. None of you. So I'll collect my apologies at the end of this from everyone. And Wolfie, what happened, mate?
You weren't even saying you were going to make Champions League.
I said push. I said we get it. I said we'd make it. At the end of that last week,
after the fact, okay.
Last week, I said we'll do it.
Oh, the end of last week. The rest of the season, nothing. End of last week, though. I changed my mind.
You wait there. So, mate, all I'd like to ask, my first question to you is, mate, what happened? Went to your ground. You said we weren't going to win. We went there. We kept a clean sheet, and I'm not going to say we dominated because we absolutely didn't. We rode our luck at times. Mate, even I don't know what happened here, mate, but Bonnie Blue infiltrating the away end. Even that didn't stop us. So, not one of your own, mate, in the away end, trying to cause carnage. And that didn't stop us on the task at hand either. And you had no answers, mate. Chris Wood missing chances. Who else missed chances? I don't know. But for someone, as Dan United rightly pointed out, you were talking about third stars title challenge. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
Sacrifice the FA Cup for Champions League position.
Exactly.
Like
I don't want to win the FA Cup semi-final. I want the Champions League instead. Well, not only have you got no, it's not. Not only have you got no FA Cup, you've got no Champions League, you've got no Europa League, and you'll be playing in a Conference League, which you've belittled me for being in all season. And now you are playing in that very competition. You'll enter the playoff round in August, early doors, and I'm not even sure if you'll win that competition. So, firstly, mate, I would like an apology from yourself for what you said about my team. Coming to your ground, clean sheet, and not only ending your Champions League hopes, ending your Europa League hopes as well, and confining you to the Conference League. So firstly, I'll have my apology, and then I'll await my explanation as to what exactly happened to your team.
Wow. Well, I got to start by saying, Charlie, when it comes to cooking, bro, like
that was beautiful.
You ain't the best at it, with all due respect, man. I mean, like,
but no,
that is so weak. That is so weak. It kind of tells me where your standards are. A bit like your team, the way they celebrated at the City ground for making fourth. Yeah, years ago they would take the piss out of Arsenal for doing that. So it's good to see where your standards are. It's even better to see how rent-free I'm living in your head. That your first thought at full time is to call me. That's nice to know, Charlie. Just don't forget my birthday, yeah? Don't forget my birthday. Right? You're going to remember me then.
Who'd you support? Who else was he going to fucking call?
I wasn't going to ring anyone else, mate.
Surely he's got some Chelsea mates that he would like to call and do some more celebrating with.
I was there with him, mate. I was there.
Yeah, have you? Did you call Lewis, man? Lewis couldn't make the game. I said, you call Lewis and congratulate him. First thought me, so rent-free. I appreciate that. So, and you can't cook me. Because unless you're going to sit here and tell me, and this is all of you, none of you can cook me because my team is the biggest overachievers in this league this season. And if you do you disagree with that, Charlie?
No, I don't disagree with that.
Okay,
so
go ahead and try and cook.
Backtracking from you is unbelievable.
Backtracking from me. You backtracked yourself. You said your team till last week wasn't getting top 5, and now you're coming here like a Power Ranger, man, thinking you've freaking achieved something.
400 million and convicted criminals to get Conference League is wild, by the way.
Yeah, 1.5 billion and celebrating 4th is even wilder, man.
No. The reason why we celebrated that right is if we do that because
please tell me why.
Yeah,
because you spoke about my owner coming on my pitch. Your owner came on my pitch as well.
Exactly. Came on your pitch.
Are you okay with that, Charlie, or is that shameless?
No, that's just emotion.
But owners shouldn't be on pitches, you said to me last week. What was he doing on a pitch that wasn't his?
There was no berating, mate. There was no berating at all. And the reason why with the celebrations
how he goes on the pitch. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. There's no reason. The reason why we celebrated, right, is one, because we have been written off all season by everyone.
Are you?
No. Been written off all season by everyone, right? Constantly saying not going to make it. Oh shit, team, this and that or whatever. Manager's not good enough. So not only right, have we for the first time under this ownership, right? We qualified for the Champions League. Okay, we finished above Newcastle, who everyone has been saying amazing things about. Newcastle this, Newcastle that, best midfield in the league. They've got best striker in the league. Oh, they're doing really well. Finished above Newcastle this year, right? Okay. Youngest team or squad in Premier League history. A manager who has had one season as a manager in the Championship. Straight
best defense.
Yeah, third best defense in the Premier League this year. Mm-hmm. A manager who has had one season in the Championship, and this is the first time under this ownership we've qualified for the Champions League. That's why the celebration.
How much have you spent? And how much you spent?
It doesn't matter how much money we've spent.
Oh, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, because everyone spends money. It doesn't matter.
Has everyone spent $1.5 billion?
No, they haven't. But everyone spends money.
Okay, so you spent $1.5 billion to get fourth.
Mate, we're progressing.
Did you get a trophy yesterday? The way you celebrate, I don't know. Was there an invisible one that I couldn't see?
No. But mate, don't worry about trophies, mate, because I'm completing Europe on Wednesday night. So the only club that will ever do that: Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League.
Do you rate the Conference League? League?
No, not really. But we're in it, and we're gonna win it, and then we'll complete this set, and it's done and dusted. It's a one and done, mate.
Careful, Anthony's going to be there. Anthony will be there.
Wolfie. You need to rate it now.
Exactly, mate. You're talking. Yeah, you're in it next season. So can I ask you, mate, as playing in the Conference League next season, providing you get past the playoff round, what are your thoughts on the Conference League now you're in it?
Yeah, I need to hear this, Wolfie, because of everything that you have said to me.
I can give a shit about it. I can give a shit about it. From a personal perspective, I can give a shit about it. If we win it, I won't over-celebrate it.
How are you going to celebrate? Give us a sample of the.
Can you celebrate
it? It'll be one of these ones.
Can you celebrate?
No.
You've never seen your team win a trophy.
What I'm saying is, it's not. I can't do a Chelsea fourth celebration for it. Do you get me? It's like it's not the level of what Chelsea achieved yesterday. So I can't. I've got to respect what they did yesterday with my level of celebration. It was just an embarrassment.
You couldn't do what we did yesterday.
I couldn't do what you did. Give me, don't give Forest, give me $1.5 billion. I'd have gone and won the league, man. I could have found you for half that price and won the league with it. $1.5 billion, and you're celebrating fourth.
No, you're having a go at me
for rattling Nuno.
Yeah,
I think Nuno got rattled. And that's
Nuno didn't get rattled. You're having a go at me for celebrating fourth place, right? What would your celebrations have been like if you got Champions League football yesterday? Everyone would have been on the pitch and you would have been absolutely loving it. You would have been all over it.
No, because Forest made sure they put a tweet out to remind that the.
Forget what tweet they put out, whatever. So what
we would have respected that.
If you qualified for the Champions League yesterday, what would your celebrations have been in the ground with your fans? What would those celebrations?
I would have been fantastic. And now let's build towards our third star. I would have been tossing like you, my shirt over my head outside the City ground, asking for directions to Hooters, man. Come on, bro. Like seriously.
I don't need directions. I know exactly where I'm going from the City ground.
So you didn't deny the shit.
Last year we went to Nottingham. We was in Hooters at the start, had a few beers. But Wolfie, someone brought this up actually. The lamp that you was going to buy Jace if we won. I mean, you saw it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for his address.
This Conference League lamp from IKEA. So maybe if you win it, you could buy yourself a Conference League lamp, and we could see that in the background. If you win it, and I don't think you will win it because
I don't care if you win it. I don't care if you win it.
Of course you
because look, you guys are failing to understand.
You can't do that, man. You can't see.
No, I can, because what you guys are failing to understand is that statistically, the team that's in the Europa Conference is most likely to end up in Champions League next season.
What?
Last two seasons.
Because Villa have done it and Chelsea.
Villa 2 years ago qualified for the Conference League. Billy, where did you end up last season?
Fourth.
Charlie, you qualified for Europa Conference last year. Where did you end up this season?
Fourth.
So put some respect on the Conference League then. Put some respect on it.
Not about the Conference League. You just need to enter it. Gets you fourth. I mean, Billy didn't win it.
But Wolfie, the Conference League, by the way, is going to be your best, and it's going to be not only your best chance, it's going to be your only chance of getting European football next season if you win that, because you're not getting European football in the league.
Did you not just hear the stat I gave you?
It doesn't matter.
No, we don't care about that.
Stats matter, man.
Yeah, did you not?
So when you don't want to whip out XG and all that shit and GA and everything else, we have actual evidence here.
XQ, yeah, expected qualification. When you're in the Conference League, your expected qualification goes up.
Look, speak up, bro. You're too low down the table for me to hear. Speak up a little.
It's fine. Look, this is the thing, yeah. The whole thing about saying to Charlie, act like you've been here before, act like this is normal. You are showing that you are a promoted team, right? You're giddy. You finished 7th. And in your lifetime, this is a high. This is the best you've ever seen.
So football started in my lifetime, yeah?
Well, I'm just saying, you've witnessed, like, for you, it's more special because you're not used to this. You're not used to the dizzying heights of 7th in the Premier League.
I get it, Lewis, because you and Jace, I remember hugging away, Brokeback Mountain style, crying on each other's shoulder and shit. I remember that in the final, man. And I remember messaging you boys saying, well done, enjoy the IKEA trophy. I get that. I get why it brought you to tears. Yeah. But tears for me are safe for Champions Leagues and titles, man.
Well, boy,
there's no difference between where your club is and where mine is, plus about 8 places.
Wolfie,
you've never seen
the question I've got,
titles, you never will.
I've got a question for you, Wolfie. Is Nuno still going to be manager for you next season? Is he getting the sack? Is he leaving? Is he staying? Where you see it?
I'll tell you off air because I can't say it.
Come on. This is it.
In my opinion, on what's happening,
you're gonna lay it out.
Are you Nuno out? Are you Nuno out?
Oh no, I'm not Nuno out. I'm not Nuno out. Is that what you're asking, Pete? Or what?
No. I'm saying
come in on that because before you come in on that, one sec, Deji. I know you've got literally a couple of minutes. What do you want to say to Wolfie before you shoot off, my bro?
Look, Wolfie is a good friend of mine. The only thing I would say is maybe you won't be so boisterous next season about your club. Because look, I was told about heritage. I was told about a lot of things, and the truth is, Nottingham Forest was heritage a very long time ago when we had black and white TV. Nottingham Forest is not that club anymore, and I don't know that they will. So, Wolfie, I'm not cooking you. You had a great time. Almost see it like a movie where you pretended to be involved, and then in the end, you got what you set out to get. I think you would have bitten everyone's hand off if they told you at the beginning of the season, Europa Conference League. And that's what you got. Therefore, Nuno should be given a plaque or a statue. You should be celebrating. And let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So for me, I am delighted for you, Wolfie. I can't cook you.
Thank you, Deji.
I am happy and delighted for what you managed to achieve. You managed to achieve European football, and it's been 60, 17, I don't know how long it's been, and we should celebrate that fact. Well done, Wolfie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Forest fans, for achieving something that you didn't see coming 3 or 4 seasons ago. So for me, well done, mate. And good luck. Good luck next season.
Very classy of you, Deji. Very classy. Someone who can raise the standards and above the whole. And I would actually I'd put Dan in that equation as well, because my fellow panelist, Dan was the only one to reach out to me for a welfare call. So Dan, much love to you.
Well, I did give you a welfare call. You didn't answer it.
I ain't got your number, Charlie.
Bro, I phoned you 3 times outside the City ground to check you're okay.
All right. If you call, let me make this clear to everyone, and I tell this to everyone. If you call on WhatsApp on video while I'm live, you crash my camera. Right? Someone call me on WhatsApp now on a video call and see what happens to my camera.
No video. I did no video.
No, let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
Deji, I know you got to shoot, bro. Big up to you, man. Love.
See you next season.
And yeah, you'll be on here next season. Wow, incredible. I never thought that would be the case. That is
and you outlasted Deji this season on this show. That's another one you can put in.
Yeah, there you go, Lawless. You've actually got you've managed to stay on longer than Deji and race for Europe.
Just lastly, before we move on, Pods, just wanted to ask Wolfie one question. Does this, obviously, like, banter aside, it is great that Forest have got back into Europe. They've had an unbelievable season. Are you disappointed with what's happened in terms of how it's all ended? And
because expectations change, man. I'd be disappointed if I was a Forest fan. I know
biggest bottle jobs of the season. No one else has done a bigger bottle job.
Look, we can agree on that, can't we?
Yeah.
Do you know any amount of snowflakes that don't call it a bottle job? You don't go from 3rd to 7th, 10 points clear in game week 30 without it being a bottle job within that context. Not of the whole season context, but within that context. It's a fucking bottle job and a half. And Newcastle and Villa decide they want to bottle it yesterday. But we were like, no. We can't be out-bottled by our fellow Alliance members.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened.
We're going to hold the biggest bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the end of the season is mad. Last day, someone always bottles it. And
Read it.
Pete, you must be the most relieved man, certainly on this panel, and just one of the most relieved men around, because you, after you,
you should watch the last 10 minutes of the stream, because I watched it. This guy went from calm to fucking furious.
And he was exactly. And remember as well, last week he was convinced, no problems, we're going to turn up. St James's will definitely beat them. We'll win. Everton,
my team at home.
I didn't do a live stream. What do you mean?
Everton done a job on that.
Who?
Man United.
No, Wolfie.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Pete, I thought you were talking about Pete. I was like,
no,
wait,
you.
I didn't watch that.
My personal favourite was Woods at the end. What?
Bro, what was that header from Williams that just headed it back in? A lovely little flicked header.
No, it wasn't that. It was the Chris Wood misses. It was the Chris Wood misses, bro.
Sells has finally learned how to do a short pass. Fucking brilliant. Take the one game. Why aren't you sending Sells up there?
Someone explain to me why you wouldn't go and just lose 2-0 and try and get a goal back.
One goal.
Honestly, it wound me up so much, man.
One goal was Europa League. If you got 1-1, you would have been Europa League.
1-1 Europa League, which is still beneath me as well, but that's a whole other story. But I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't you send the keeper up? Just send him up. Lose 2-0, 3-0. It doesn't matter. What was he scared? We're going to drop 4 extra points per goal.
He's pretty worried about Marinakis coming on the pitch if he sent the keeper up. So he just left him.
Man, let me ask Billy, because Billy's been quiet. Billy's been patient.
The time has come.
And if I'm honest with you, I watched the majority of that game actually, and I thought you were crap, Bill. I can't lie. I thought you were so bad. However, that was a joke of a decision, right? And I think that could have made things very different. I understand what the hell the referee's doing, blowing the whistle there. You obviously just leave it and let it happen like that. I don't really care because it has nothing to do with me. I really didn't care who got Champions League. I wasn't really excitement, but let's just pretend I did and I wanted to.
They're not one of your favourite teams anymore with Newcastle. You've gone off them, mate.
You know, I was a Newcastle. I wanted Newcastle.
Look at this glory hunter. Now they didn't make it. You're dusty. You're thrown to the side.
He's back with me, Lawless. He's back with me now.
He's back with Newcastle.
Back with his phase 8 next season.
Back with his ex, Lawless. That's what he is.
Villa. When you look like
Villa, I've got time for Villa, but I thought they were crap yesterday, and they always let me down in my accumulators. I ain't betting on them anymore, man.
I mean, to be fair, though, Billy did say in the chat that he wasn't fancying Villa.
No, Charlie, don't fucking buy into that. He does that every game, and then when he goes,
Charlie, we literally just talked about Hibs earlier.
But Hibs, that's fair.
Come on, man.
What do you make of it, Dan? Because obviously United play. I thought United were the better team. I got to be honest.
I thought the fact that Rodgers didn't get booked for assaulting being there is disgraceful. No, look, the referee
he did get booked. I think, didn't he?
Sorry,
I said I think he did get booked.
Did it? No, I think that was for the
it was for the giving it to the ref.
It was. Do you know what, Billy? I don't know. I saw you put in our chat like, "Oh, that's cost us." I still think we'd have beat you, even if you'd have got that goal. Yeah. I thought a goal was coming. I think you were playing that poorly. You were down to 10 men. I don't know what Martinez is doing. I actually think the person you should be most angry at, and to be fair, you do dig him out a lot, is Cash, because I don't know what the hell Cash is doing with that ball.
What was that?
That was horrendous. And I actually, this just completely proves my point about Manchester United all season. If we had a striker that could score, it'd have been 3 or 4 before half time. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. I think this goes back to the age-old question, though, guys. I think the rules need to be looked at again and again and again, because as much as I'm happy that we put Billy out of Champions League, there is that sick taste. Of course there is, because it was a complete and utter howler from the referee. I thought referees were meant to let the ball, let it play, and then they blow the whistle. So,
do you think that's because of Awoniyi? Do you think it's because of what happened to my guy, Awoniyi? There was this sudden rush to it.
100%.
I don't think that has an impact.
Has that ref?
The ref's well inexperienced. Hasn't he only been a ref?
He's done more Championship than Premier League. Yeah,
19 Premier League games before yesterday. I think 11 Premier League games this season, 12 Championship games this season. I don't think that should be allowed myself. Constantly flicking between the two. Look, the decision, it is what it is. What frustrates me more than anything is we're not talking about a decision that's happened in game week 30 and you've got another 8 games to go. There was 17 minutes of that game to react, and we weren't good enough. Not at all. We were horrendous from minute 1. Manchester United deserved to win that game. Before the red card, after the red card, we were horrific. We only have ourselves to blame in that situation. However, that decision happening on 73 minutes, the referee just needed to wait a second. The VAR can then analyze it. Goal, no goal, whatever the decision comes out to be, it would have been a goal. That's just cost Villa £100 million. Because I understand your point, Dan. Man United may have gone on to get another goal, but at least we've got that buffer. At least we've got that buffer, and we would have defended for our lives. I think Mings would have come on, added that aerial stability as well. Our defensive record, right? Exactly. It would have given that buffer. That's what I mean.
It's mad though, isn't it? How like a decision. Sorry, Pete. How a decision like that costs you something so greatly. It's kind of like Sheffield United with you, the ball that crossed the line that never did.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? These things happen. These things happen.
Yeah, exactly. In the first half of the 30th game of the season, they had time to react.
What I'm saying is these things happen, and unfortunately, they cost us a lot of money. This isn't just happening every now and then. Unfortunately, VAR was brought in to sort this mess out. And if anything, it's just made a whole lot more mess.
The thing is, the issue isn't with VAR in this instance. The issue is with the referee wholeheartedly.
But this is what I'm trying to say is that like we've been talking up and down about refereeing decisions, in particular since St James's Park on Boxing Day. Referees have become a much more focused topic of conversation on this channel, on this particular show. But we've been asking, and the media have been asking for referees to take more charge in the games, take charge and make decisions for themselves. In that moment, that referee, and look, I agree. I think, I don't think he has the ball in his hands. I think it's a bad decision. But we're asking referees to stop using VAR as a fallback. In that moment, that referee clearly felt that ball was in his hands and made the decision, whether it was right or wrong. Aren't we asking referees to do that a little bit more? Because there's been times where referees try to almost let things go to let VAR make the decision for them. I'm not agreeing with it, Billy. I'm not agreeing with it at all. But what I'm saying is, this is where the difficulty is. Where do we start and where do we end with it? Do we want the referees to take more charge, take a little bit more ownership of their own game because they're in charge? Or are we just going to go, right, let VAR deal with it? Because in that situation, yeah, fair enough, VAR would have ruled you a goal. But in other situations, it could have gone a lot differently. And there's particularly those decisions where, those decisions have gone in a different way, where we've argued it the other way, from the other side of the coin. So it's a really
I think the question is,
I completely understand.
On the referee. I think it's really harsh to put it all on the referee, because I think
you feel like he got robbed, basically.
He's trying to make the right decision.
There is that sense of feeling robbed, absolutely, because I do think that goal stands. I think we get Champions League football next season. I completely understand with Pete's point, and I agree to it to a certain extent. However, you don't blow the whistle as that ball lands at Morgan Rogers' feet as he's about to take that shot. You let that shot go, and then as soon as it crosses the line, you blow the whistle, you give the foul, and then you allow VAR, if necessary, to intervene. I can completely understand from the referee's point of view and from the referee's view how it would have looked like a foul with the keeper having two hands on the ball. But when you zoom in, you see that isn't the case. And that's when VAR should have got involved. It's such a big decision. And to have a referee that is so inexperienced and has been flicking between the Premiership and the Championship with differing rules and the VAR and whatnot, I think he got it totally wrong.
To the head, won it, Billy.
Absolutely, he got it totally wrong, and I think the Premier League or whoever it is, the PGMOL, whoever allocated him that game, got it totally wrong.
Billy, you bang on. I think the key thing.
Pete was well happy, so it's all good.
Of course. As anyone.
You don't want to win it like that.
Before we don't try and take the high ground, Pete.
I'm just giving my opinion on. As I just said, I agree. I think it should have been given as a goal. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm talking about the referee point of view, and I hope I'm not trying to sound biased. I know you're kind of trying to point the finger at me, but I'm not. I'm going on the basis of the discussions that we've had week in and week out about referees over the course of the season. So I'm trying to give a little bit of context.
The difference in this, the context is key in this. It wasn't, is he offside, is he onside? He was going to be the last player. That play ends in the next 5 seconds, either in the back of the net or he shanks his shot wide. That's it. The context is there's no player near him to tackle him unless the keeper gets up quickly, which he's not going to do. There's nothing to be lost or gained. Well, there's lots to be lost by him blowing it, but you get what I'm saying? Within 5 seconds, let it go in the back of the net. Then he can blow and say foul, and then VAR can intervene. Because that's what it's designed for. It's the clear and obvious. That was clear and obvious. Yeah. And because he bottled it, because of course it's at Manchester United, Old Trafford, blah, blah, blah.
That is the biggest load of bollocks I've heard you say tonight. He didn't bottle it. He made a decision.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. He didn't bottle it. The referee is convinced in his mind that was
maybe it was the brown envelope with Man U. I don't know. Whatever it is, he had to wait 5 seconds. He had to wait 5 seconds, and then none of this happened.
It's easy to say that, Wolfie, in hindsight because of what happened.
I mean, Pete, he's not good enough to be a referee
to make a decision in that moment. In that moment, as Dan United is saying, is what I said in my initial argument, is that he felt that was a foul. He felt that the ball was in his hands. Yes, he got it wrong, but it's all right. He's talking about now. Oh yeah, wait 5 seconds.
Pete, so the other way round.
Hold on, Pete. I'd like to point out he blows as soon as he makes contact. He doesn't blow after Rodgers has got the ball. So in his mind, he didn't know that was
wrong. Okay, but if it's the other way round, right, and it's a foul on Rodgers, and he blows the whistle, he's made a mistake then as well. Why? Because normally they should be trying to play advantage on. Do you get me? So if Rodgers went down, he should have played advantage on for Rodgers to then tap it into the back of the net instead of having to go to a penalty. They should no. What I'm saying is they should be giving it. They should always be giving it a couple of seconds. They should always be giving it a couple of seconds.
Well, yeah, sure,
but you're saying that. But what happened to your play the other week? Because
that's
they
an offside. That's an offside. That's not a referee decision. That's not a referee decision. That's a linesman decision.
They are trying to make sure that they're shoring things up a lot quicker. The referee tried to make the right decision, so it didn't have to play on. So it needlessly didn't play on for something else to potentially happen.
There's a difference. When you rush decisions, Pete, you're going to make the decision wrong.
Exactly.
Rather than take a second or two.
The fact of the matter is,
and now we're back to what we
because there's a difference. There's a difference between letting a offside that's miles offside, and then you're running yards and yards and yards and letting that play out to 1 second, like boom, whistle, like. You at least give it a couple seconds to process in your mind because haste makes waste. You rush, you're too quick to make a decision. You're going to make the wrong decision so more often.
And Dan, this is I'll go back to my original point. From what I watched, and I've watched that game back, it looked like he was convinced that was the decision. Like, I'm not going to hammer him. And I don't think he should be hammered for making that decision. He's made that decision. It's the wrong decision, in my opinion, and I think everyone else on the panel feels it's the wrong decision. But we've hammered referees for not making the decision and just letting things go and letting other people make decisions for them. We can't have it both ways, guys. Sure. Point.
Yeah, but 9 times out of the 10, if that happens in the middle of the pitch, they try to play advantage.
Yeah, but regardless of the decision, right? And Billy's already acknowledged it. Villa was shit anyway, regardless of that decision. Like Villa didn't lose.
That's the most concerning thing for me.
Villa were losing regardless. You know, Emi Martinez sent off, not creating that many opportunities, second best against an absolutely horrendous Man United side. Like, let's not pretend that Villa, this was like some grave injustice and Villa were robbed. They weren't robbed. They've only got themselves to blame. Like, if you turned up and done your job, no one's talking about a shit refereeing decision. So for me, what it comes down to is, it was probably wrong, but ultimately Villa shit the bed, and they didn't turn up. You know, that's the bigger story than a referee getting a decision wrong.
Now, shout out to Errol, man. Good to see you, man. Hope you're good.
Yeah,
big up, boys. Big up,
bro. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for jumping on. Man.
Literally, I'm on my phone cutting through the city still, so I'm literally just popping in to say, boys, love yous. Unbelievable season. We will definitely catch up soon and unpack. Keep cooking, Billy. keep cooking Wolfie. I've had people coming up to me in the streets today trying to cook Wolfie. So just let him know he's got to hold that. Can't escape. I know he's hiding behind the screen. He can't escape. And Billy, man, you got to pay for your football crimes, but the car. I back you to the hilt. I back you as much as I can, but I can't back Martinez there, man. He's let you down big time.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
But no, I just wanted to pop on deck, show some love.
You shaving your head? Are you shaving your head because of Marty Slot? I told you I'd hold you to that. I told you I'd hold you to that.
Hey, and on that note, yeah, I'm going to go enjoy my night, lad. Love, boys. I'll catch you.
Take it easy, bro.
Love, man.
All the best.
Wow. Okay, we need to get that receipt. We need to get that.
We need to get the
receipt. Martinez's last game sent off. Last game for Villa.
Quite possibly. I don't know. I really don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
The ramifications of you losing this game. Obviously, you talked about cost you 100 million, but obviously PSR FFP. There's probably going to be an instance where there's going to be some players that you might not have wanted to sell that you might have to sell, and it's going to change where you're shopping as well. What markets you're shopping in. It's a big impact, man.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you disappointed with the season, Bill? Are you disappointed?
It's really hard to say because yes, I am because of how close we came. Yes, I am. However, I was sat here game week 1 when we were giving our predictions. What do you expect for the season? I said we'd finish 6th. We finished 6th. I said I wanted a cup run, and we got a cup run. Quarterfinals in the Champions League, semi-final in the FA Cup. Disappointing the way we went out in the FA Cup, and obviously coming so close to the Champions League as well. So yes, I am disappointed in how it's happened, but I think in hindsight, 3rd season in a row in Europe, I can't be too disappointed. But it just hurts with how close we came. But I think that the thing that gets, sorry, Dan, 2 secs. So I do want to say this, and I'm going to cook my own club, because the most concerning thing for me at the minute is we are a team of bottlers. We're a team of bottlers. We don't have that winning mentality in games that matter. In games that matter, we disappear. Olympiacos last season in the semi-final, Palace this season in the semi-final, and the game against Man United. PSG's PSG, mate. PSG. You can't say, you're not saying that. Get it crying out loud.
Billy, are you worried about? Well, this is the question I was going to ask you. You know, you've just mentioned those kind of almost kind of like bottles in terms of those situations. Are you worried that this is an Emery thing? Because look, the reason why I say this, I follow quite a lot of Villa accounts, and they follow us. Some come on loaded, some come on here as well, and a number of them are questioning Unai Emery and his ability to bottle big moments. Like, where do you sit on that? Because there's a lot of Villa fans talking that he's a bit of a bottler because in the big moments he doesn't quite get the job done. I know Arsenal had a similar opinion of him when he was at Arsenal. Where do you sit with this? Because that's an interesting point.
Yeah, in my opinion, anyone that is questioning Emery doesn't deserve nice things. Because Unai Emery has a proven track record of winning things. No Aston Villa player does. Other than Emi Martinez, who's obviously gone on to win the World Cup, no other Aston Villa player knows how to win things on a consistent basis.
Even concept.
Unai Emery has shown that he knows how to.
What about Rashford? Rashford's won stuff.
He's here on loan. He's here on loan.
Asensio's won French.
That man has stolen a living from you, Billy. That man has stolen a living.
Wait, Billy, can we get one more of these just for Dan? It's his last show.
Yeah, one more of these. Yeah.
Rude not to. Yeah, no. In my opinion, we don't have enough winning mentality within the squad. It's as simple as that. You look at players like Bruno at Newcastle, Pete. He is a born winner. All he wants to do is win. We don't have a player like Bruno that is going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
I agree.
And go on and say, "Fucking get on my back. We're winning this game. We're getting this."
Wasn't Onana meant to be that guy?
I think your transfer window was wrong, Billy.
He's 22 years old. He's not going to have that mentality yet. But that's my biggest concern about Aston Villa at the minute. We need to get winners in, and Bruno wasn't a winner before he came into Newcastle because he
won trophies in Brazil and he won. I'm not sure if he won at Lyon. I think he might have won a cup at Lyon before he comes. So in which case, he won Serie A before he came to Newcastle. So we do have winners. Trippier with Atletico Madrid.
We need winners and people who know how to win in that squad, which we don't have at the minute. I really don't know where we go from here, to be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know what the summer's got ahead of us. But all I think, look, where my head's at the minute, and it's on fucking Mars, but where my head's at the minute is we need to revolve. Our team needs to be built around Yuri Tielemans, Bouba Kamara, Ezri Konsa, and Morgan Rogers.
There's the Konsa quote for you, Dan. There it is.
The rest of them can do what they want.
Billy, Pau Torres is shit, yeah?
Yeah.
That's so mad.
Torres ain't good enough. There's quite a few defensively that have got to be upgraded.
Our defensive record.
I got told he's better than Murillo, though.
Our defensive record with Pau Torres in the squad compared to Tyrone Mings is light and day.
But Mings is always injured.
Definitely upgrade on Torres. I don't think he's good enough, Bill. I think defensively, Villa have got some problems, man. Like I think your midfield is good. Obviously, you score goals. Watkins scores goals. Rogers.
I think Watkins is done in the summer. I think they'll get rid of him. They should get rid of him.
Maybe.
Who knows what happens now?
Oh, Wolfie, I know you've got a shoot, bro.
I wouldn't be against it,
you, man.
I'll be honest.
I appreciate you.
Wolfie. Bro, you escaped again.
We'll get him in. We'll get him in person next week. We'll get him in person.
It's not my fault. You put the worst cooker on me, man.
No,
I'm learning too long, but he's just too nice. He's too nice.
We'll get you next
You've
week.
let him get away with it one too many times, man. He has escaped time and time again. He is like Houdini, man. You cannot catch him.
He won on Thursday.
Yo, Pete, you want to talk about escapes? Talk about your club yesterday, bro. Forget about me.
No, we didn't escape.
Yeah, all
right. We're good. We're living good, brother. Don't worry about that.
Enjoy the Conference League. Enjoy
it, mate. I'll let you know, mate. I'm going.
Enjoy that battle with Spurs and Man U at the bottom.
Big up, Wolf.
And thanks for the 6 points, Lawless. Love you.
Billy.
Love Wolfie.
Because I watched you lot turn up, and I was honestly, with the way we were, our confidence on the floor. What were you expecting Emery to set up like? Because he seemed to set up so defensively, and it just backfired. I don't understand. I couldn't understand the way he set the team up at all. What were you expecting?
I was expecting us to go gung ho. I really was. I don't know if the reasoning behind it was let's see how the rest of the games go for the first half, or what the idea was behind it. But I really expected us to go gung ho, get an early goal, hopefully build on that, get another early goal. Then the pressure's on the rest of them. And then that's what I was hoping, and that's what I was expecting.
Follow up on that, right? Emi Martinez, I think is you have players for your club that are such a big character in that squad, such a big character. They command the respect of their peers. Him going, are you worried?
I am, because in my opinion, we've been over this in the group chat. In my opinion, he's the best in the world. Whether you believe that or not, I'm sure that you can appreciate that he's a world-class goalkeeper. We are not in a camp, particularly with Europa League. We're not in the camp where we can demand and go out and buy another world-class goalkeeper. Our aim now has to be to try and find that next world-class goalkeeper that we can help develop to become that. And this is where the problem goes. Duran Garcia is the one that we're being linked with. I know he's close to Newcastle. There's another one from Lille, can't pronounce his name. Chevalier, something like that. They're the two big ones that we're being linked with at the minute. I don't know enough about them to form an opinion. I'll be totally honest with you.
They're both quality. Like Jovan Garcia is being heavily linked with Newcastle United tonight.
Of course, weren't Arsenal linked with him as well, Garcia?
Yeah, Arsenal have been, but Arsenal have got David Raya. Like Jovan Garcia is going to want to be number one. Like I'll talk to you boys off air because there's a few things that have kind of developed tonight. But Chevrolet is top class. Both of those goalkeepers. If you get anyone of them, that's a perfect replacement for Martinez. Anyone.
Look, I know when we played them last year in the Conference League, he was fantastic for them. And all I can do is hope that he is as good as Pete says, and he can eventually become that new world-class goalkeeper that we need.
I think Villa for me, real talk, this season, when you look two semi-finals, quarter-final, semi-final, I never see Villa getting quarter-finals of Champions League. I thought when I looked at them, probably flip of a coin between them. I thought Palace were very, very good. And I'm honest with you, Bill, I thought you were terrible at that.
We bottled it, mate. Simple as. Like I say, the big moments we go bottle.
Yeah, and I don't know that like, a lot of people. When I was having this chat today with Terry, and he was like, "I see Arsenal fans were wrong. Emery bottles it at every big moment." But like the guy's won 3 Europa Leagues, like he doesn't bottle it.
He's
like
got a proven track record.
He's got a proven track record with Villarreal and Seville, and obviously he's done well with Villa. But I do think defensively, Villa have got to sort it out. And if you are going to get rid of Watkins, you need to look at how you're going to get the goals that he provides. Because in the last 3-4 years, he has been getting you 20+ goals a season. So you will miss that, to be honest. But look, I want to move with some super chats, and then I've got a question for a few because I know a few of you haven't spoken yet. Roses are red, violets are blue, apple pies, humble pie, and cream pies for Billy and Wolfie as the Magpies fly to Barcelona, Munich, and Milan too. Big up to you, bro. We'll touch on that in a minute. Geordie Mick says, big up, lads. Deji, loving your T-shirts. Thoughts and prayers to everyone, all Liverpool people tonight. Absolutely. We did mention that earlier. Freddie says, big up, Deji and Wolfie, the only ones who believed. Remember, they said that you have to win a Carabao Cup before you could win bigger things. There we go. Winning mentality is now installed. Mina says, Dan United going out of a bang. You will be missed. Yep, we'll definitely come to that. Hey, Deji, show us your women's UCL. Big up to the women. Absolutely big up to the women. What phase? Oh no, won't read that one. Oh, no. James, Deji, you finished below David Moyes. Everton with Beto as a striker. Have some shame. You can't do better than that.
You've got to be reading these super chats out in a timely manner, Potts. He's not here to.
I know, yeah. This is the problem when people chat away. It's hard.
Yeah, you just got to shut them up. Just shut them
Deji,
up.
Congrats.
Just bring it up on screen.
Yeah, Deji, congrats. You got pissed off. Real Madrid and what's this? And Jack Barker in the Champions League. Any Arsenal fan who has enough of Arteta, all loans applications are open. Spurs this season are bigger than Arsenal. They've definitely had a more successful season, that's for sure. We don't want to hear Wolfie talk, chat the most, and you bottled the easiest running. You get in Conference League, couldn't have happened to a better guy. Beautiful. And this is a David Moyes appreciation from James. He's got grey hair, but we don't care. Davy Moyes, so much better than Potter. Thanks for the gift, you fraud. He does like you, Lawless. He always comes. Whenever you're on, man, he does like to give you that.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Alluded.
When West Ham won the Conference League, they didn't qualify. Qualify for what?
They qualified for the Europa League, didn't they?
Europa League, yeah.
He said like teams that play in the Champions.
He was trying to talk about the Super Cup. That's what it was.
No. That was Wolfie. He was saying
okay.
Teams that play in the Conference League qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, I love this. Billy, thanks for money for on. Pete, what a steal.
He's good.
That is quite funny. Pete's definitely got yeah. Anyway,
they don't look impressed, Billy and Pete. They don't look impressed with that, James.
No, I'm not impressed.
Not at all. Not at all.
Look, I wanted care less. It's an Everton fan. Could care less.
I wanted to quickly ask you, because normally I ask you for all your teams of the season and we go through it and the blah blah blah. I haven't had time to do all that, to be honest with you. And I've seen a few people talk about teams of the season. And before I go into like what you expect your clubs to do in the summer to close, I wanted to just bring up what I think is probably the team of the season that I'd go with, and just see if you think it's fair or if you think it's crazy. To be honest, I don't think there's much of a discussion on it, to be fair. I think some of the positions are fair. I've gone with Sells, Timber, Milenkovic, Van Dijk, Kirkes, In midfield, I think Tielemans has been unreal. I've got to be honest. Caicedo, I think, deserves a mention. Gravenberch has, I think, been brilliant in central defence in midfield. And I've gone with a front three. I know Mbeumo plays more on the right, but I didn't really know who else. I didn't think Diaz was consistent enough or Gakpo. So I went with Mbeumo for his goals. Salah, obviously, on the right, and Isak up top. I don't know if any of you guys think it's criminal I've missed anyone, or if you think it's mad that I put someone in there.
I can't believe of all the Arsenal players that's in there, Timber.
Tonali.
Tonali, yeah, Tonali's a shout. Has he been better than Gravenberch though? I don't know.
Cucurella at left back
Better
as
than
well.
Caicedo.
Cucurella's been unbelievable.
You're only saying that because he's your top scorer this year.
No, but he has been very good. Like, yeah, Cucurella's been the best left back in the league this year for me.
I hate that man.
No, Kirkes has been the best in the Premier League.
Charlie, come on.
Best in the Premier League.
No, yeah, he hasn't.
Kirkes
Cucurella's been better than Kirkes. Kirkes is, by the way, Kirkes is not bad, but Cucurella.
No, Cucurella has not had a better season than Kirkes.
Yes,
No
he
way.
I remember him getting sat down by Haaland first game of the season after fucking that
Cucurella's
horrible
had a better
chance he
season
did
than
on top of
Kirkes.
bus for him.
He's had a better season than Kirkes.
Haaland, Cucurella.
He's had a better season. He's had a better season than Kirkes.
No chance.
Tielemans in there is a bit mad as well, Potts. Like, I'm surprised you ain't put Rice.
Tielemans has been quality.
No, Rice hasn't been
quality.
Rice hasn't been consistent until the last part of the season.
£105 million, Dave, and Tielemans.
No,
is
but
better.
he ain't been. He ain't been.
Tielemans
this year.
on a free.
For me, he ain't been. I think Tielemans has been unreal.
You should have got Tielemans on a free.
Do you guys not agree then? Do you guys think Tielemans has not been good?
No, he has been good. He has been good.
He's had very good season. Very good
Potts,
season.
there's no one that stands out as a mistake for me. I'll be honest. I think that's
Tonali.
I think Timber's overrated. To be fair, like
what?
I possibly would have gone. If they hadn't bottled it, I maybe would have gone Olarena at right back. But obviously, they fell off a bit towards the end of the season. But he's been very good.
Timber's been Arsenal's best player, man.
Really?
Timber's been Arsenal's best player. Yeah, 100%. Timber's been unbelievable.
Gabriel was your fucking top goal scorer before he got.
Yeah, but he got injured, and if I'm honest with you, Timber was I think the most consistent Arsenal player. Probably Partey would get a mention. Rice hasn't been consistent this season. The first part, he had a broken toe and couldn't play. He was just not good enough.
Don't even get a mention. That's mad.
Saliba and Gabriel, I don't think have been as good this season as Van Dijk or Milenkovic.
I'm surprised you're not going for David Raya in goal.
No,
I think Raya was moving a bit mad for me in the last few games.
I'd have put Raya in instead of Timber. I know one of your back five probably deserves to be in there, but if you're going with any one of your back five, I'd have gone Raya instead of Timber.
Well, Raya at right back.
Raya at right back.
No. If I'm going to have one of them, I think probably only one should be in there. But I'm saying Raya over Stells, and then putting someone else right back.
Yeah, right.
I don't think Timber's been the best right back in the Premier League.
Munoz is a shout. Someone should just put it in the chat.
Munoz has been good.
Munoz
has been good, but I don't.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
For most of that, Wan-Bissaka's had a great season. I think West Ham haven't played.
Oh, come on, what are we doing here?
I'm not saying team of the season. I'm saying he's had a great season because I think he has.
Yeah,
he's had one of his
he ain't nowhere near Tim. I thought Tim was a pretty obvious one.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Munoz has definitely been better than Timber.
Timber was getting rinsed in the Champions League, mate. Like in that PSG,
Munoz was in a bloody 16th Palace team for most of the season until they got to 12th and won the FA Cup.
Yeah, it makes it you're
underestimating how good Timber's been, man.
When you're doing it in a bad team, Potts, it's more impressive than when you're doing it in a team that's up there.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing it, and that's what I'm saying. He wasn't doing it when it was 16th, was he? Everyone was laughing at Palace, particularly you. So I don't know how we can put Munoz in ahead of Timber. That's crazy. But look, I
think Reece James is better than Timber. I know he's been injured. I think he's better than Timber. Reece James is definitely.
Who? Reece James.
Lawless. You're talking about for team of the season or actually?
Everyone's better than Timber now.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Well, I'm just saying the last few games where Reece James has been fit, he's looked class.
Reece James is ridiculously good, but the guy can't stay fit, man. It's
better than, let's be real though, Potts. Can you admit he's better than Timber?
Who?
Reece James is better than Timber as a footballer. Yeah, of course he is.
Reece James is better than Timber, yeah, but he hasn't fit. I'm not putting him in ahead of Timber this year. Crikey.
For 3
the
games.
guy's been playing in midfield. You want to put one Saka, Reece James, Munoz, and who was the other lad? Aina. I'm not
What
putting
about Trent? Trent Alexander. Why couldn't he get in team this season?
Nah, man, I don't think Trent. If I'm honest, I don't think Trent has been better than Timber this season. I don't think he has.
All
He
right,
had a good first half of the season, didn't he? To be fair.
Man, if I was actually trying, I would have been going for Gabriel and Saliba in here. Look, most clean sheets. I didn't do any of this. I thought I was being fair, really. I think Timber's the only one I can put in. Raya, maybe. But he's been moving mad the last few weeks, in my opinion. And I think Sells has been pretty consistent throughout. But yeah.
Do you know what's hilarious? Nobody's sat here saying, where's Haaland? That's such a difference in 12 months, isn't it? 12.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
The only other midfielder I would have spoken about is Alexis McAllister. He's the only other midfielder I thought about. But I think Caicedo has been quality for Chelsea. And Tielemans.
It's mad that Gakpo ain't got a shout though. Gakpo, I think deserves it.
Yeah, he didn't come back from his injury very well. He took him ages
definitely.
Yeah, but then that's where we get into recency bias. That's the problem, because if he had showed his form since injury at the start of the season and played like he did at the start of the season, at the end of the season, we'd be looking at it differently.
I'm always going to throw Sandro Tonali in there. Sandro Tonali was the reason why we changed our form. We were nowhere until we put him in the number 6. I think it was probably towards the end of November. When we did that, he has completely transformed our midfield. He made our midfield the reason why people are talking about it being one of the best when Joe Linton.
Yeah, I think he's unreal.
He has been unbelievable, and he's not just all of a sudden rise to being this guy. He came into us as this guy from AC Milan. Like, he is a quality world-class midfielder.
Do you know who I think belongs in there? I'd put Onana in goal, because I think he was the best player for every other team. For every team that Man United faced, he was their best player.
Of course, he didn't play yesterday.
Yeah,
I must admit, like there's every time in team this season, there's always disagreements. I think Tonali in the back end of this season has been better than Gravenberch. However, I think throughout the season, I hate to say it because I wanted to win the league, not come second. Gravenberch has been unbelievable for Liverpool from like game 1 to game 38. To be fair to him, and at 6, I can't really move him out of there in my opinion. But yeah, look, I think there's some other names of people that deserve a mention. I don't think anyone's brought up has been mad, other than Lawless's shout for Onana. I think everyone deserves their respect. To be fair, let's
else.
Yeah, no, he was. And do you know what? That Bayenda, they need to get another goalkeeper as well.
He's 2 goalkeepers. Yeah,
he is absolutely terrible.
How can you have the 2 worst goalkeepers in the league?
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
It's mad.
Honestly, it just baffles me, man.
Let's close on a quick chat with some names. I'm just going to throw some names because obviously Newcastle, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, to be fair, they've all been linked with players in the last 24 to 48 hours. Victor Gyökeres and Sesko, we're being kind of tug of war with. Not sure what people's thoughts are of that one. Charlie, you're being linked with Liam Delap. Dan, you're being linked with Liam Delap. And Cunha's pretty much a here we go. And then Pete, if I'm honest with you, bro, I can see you going mad in the summer. So I expect there to be a busy window, boys. I suppose I'll ask this so we can kind of do it as a discussion instead of talking about each team's individually, because I'll just take another half for now to 45 minutes we don't have. What are we expecting for this title next season? Because Liverpool, for me, are moving mad. Man City are going to go mental. Arsenal, I expect to spend, are going to have to spend. I've just mentioned, I think Chelsea and Newcastle are going to. Man United and Tottenham and West Ham and these guys are going to have to play catch up with in the window. Villa, I think, have got to try and stay competitive with all of us spending as well. This is going to go mad, people. What are our thoughts? Real talk.
Oh, particularly with Club World Cup as well. You know, like particular teams that are in that business is going to be done early. Like I think they've got that window between the 1st and the 10th of June to get players in for the Club World Cup. So I think you're going to see the likes of ourselves and City getting business done early. Like this week, I think once we've got the Conference League out of the way on Wednesday night, you'll start to hear movement. Delap's going to be making his decision this week. He's been in talks.
He's going Chelsea, I think,
he's been in talks with us. He's been in talks with Newcastle. He's been in talks with obviously you. at United, Everton as well.
Well, where's the best move for him, Charlie? Lap, real talk.
He obviously, like, he wants to play regular minutes. Every player wants to play regular minutes. If he wants European football, I mean, I don't really know where would he play the most. You probably
Chelsea.
say
I think Chelsea is going. Why didn't he go Villa?
Villa if Watkins goes.
He'd be guaranteed. Let's be real, right?
As well. He'd be guaranteed minutes.
Guaranteed at United, but there's no European football. There's no idea really when United are going to be back or start to claw their way back up. We'd expect it at some point, but you don't know. Newcastle. Look, I think Newcastle will be a good move for him. I know Isak's there, but Isak don't play every game anyway. And Newcastle desperately need an alternative who's not Callum Wilson. And, Champions League as well, they're going to need much better quality options. And that would be a good move. It'd be a good move for us as well. I mean, look, 30 million quid for a striker with his profile, his potential and his goal-scoring ability is very good.
Do you think that would be it, though, for you, Charlie? If you went for Delap, you'd just have him and Jackson?
No, I think we'd get two.
Well, speaking of that, Charlie, I've literally just seen a report that you're entering into talks for Ekitike.
Yeah.
For about 100 million euros.
He's a good player.
I've literally just seen a comp of his last 60 shots. He is Jackson 2.0, mate.
No, but his profile. He's
not lawless.
No, but his profile's very similar. I'm pretty sure that when he was at Reims, before he went to PSG, pretty sure, Pete, didn't Newcastle almost agree a deal for him when he was at Reims?
It was agreed. The deal was done. Well, we had the deal signed up, but he's a French lad. PSG came in for him, top of the league in France, Champions League football guaranteed. He went there. It was the wrong move. It was the right move at the wrong time when he went.
But he must have only been if he's 22 now, he must have only been about 18 or 19 when you were in for him.
He's not a 100 million euro player, like or 84 million pound player.
No, he absolutely isn't. Absolutely no chance. Like for me, for that price is way too much money. Because when you look at, for example, Gyökeres is going to be available for around 60. Sesko's release clause 80 million euros, so it's going to be obviously less than him. Gyökeres and Sesko for me are probably both better bets than Ekitike. Like, Ekitike is good, don't get me wrong, but this is really the first season where we're probably talking about Ekitike, like doing stuff. Obviously, when he broke through at Reims, it was good. Nothing happened at PSG. He weren't great on loan at Frankfurt before he made his move permanent last summer. And you're talking about like Mamouche going for 75 million euros. Mamouche is way better than Ekitike. So how they can be demanding 100 million for Ekitike when Mamouche went for 75 is a bit strange. I mean, if you're going to spend that much money on a striker, I'd rather you get someone a bit more proven. But the striker market's not great for proven centre forwards. I mean, Osimhen's probably going to go Saudi, and then you're looking at Gyökeres is the other one, and it's really difficult to call where he's going to go.
I think the players that are being linked at the moment, like Gyökeres has been massively linked with us. I hope we get him. Sesko is also being linked. But I was looking at Newcastle players and I'm like who they were going to be getting. But it looks like the players that I thought they were going to go for look to all be going to linking with other. I thought Delap maybe. I thought Brian and Mbeumo. I thought potentially Sesko at one stage would be linked with you guys, Pete. And now I'm not really hearing much, but you're going to tell me in a minute that you're linked with loads and you're going to be fine.
I'm not going to lie. This last 24 hours has been wild. Absolutely wild. It has gone off the charts. Like, the amount of people, the amount of players that we've been linked with is unbelievable. But what I will say to you is that the last time we got Champions League football, nobody expected Sandro Tonali to walk through the door. A week, like literally 24 hours before that, we were linked with Nico Barella. All of a sudden, 24 hours later, Sandro Tonali's done. The people are in Milan. He comes over. Nobody expected it. I expect something similar again this summer. We are going to invest. The wild thing about it is that, and it was interesting you made the point, Charlie, earlier. You were talking about, obviously, he was finishing fifth and you finishing above us and all the rest of it. I go back to this point, and I might seem like a broken record. We have not signed a first-team ready player for 3 fucking windows. No other team on this panel, including West Ham, has had to deal with that. And we are playing Champions League football this season. And Eddie Howe, for the last 4 weeks, has gone off character, off script, and been very adamant that this team will be invested in this summer. In his press conference yesterday, Forget the result. Champions League football was confirmed. He said to the journalist, I'm going now to have a transfer meeting with the chairman because we need to improve this squad. We are making signings this summer. I'm so excited for this summer because I think we are going to go out. We are going to invest. Now, the players that have been talked about, the Delaps and all the rest of it, we are not going to get into a bidding war with the likes of Chelsea, with the likes of Arsenal, even with the likes of Man United, because even though we're playing Champions League football, their wages and what they're willing to offer players is going to completely eclipse us. So we are going. You think not, Dan. You think not, Dan, but you are. You are still going to throw money. You are still going to throw wages that are way beyond what we're able to do.
The fucking cook. You really think we're going to go out there and put all that? No chance.
You are still.
We're not at the same basin as you, mate. We're not going for the, apart from Delap, we're not at the same basin as you.
But the
you think, Pete, you're going to go for players that aren't being linked with other clubs, is what you're saying?
Yeah. The exciting thing about it is that we've got Paul Mitchell in his first proper window, who's well renowned of getting top quality players in wherever he's been, and I believe he's going to go and get some quality players next season. There might not be those ready, world-class ready players that you guys are probably going to be looking at, but we've already proven we don't need to get those ready-made players to be able to bring players in. And when we've got a manager like Eddie Howe to make them better, who's a top level coach, I trust him. I've got no reason not to trust this man. He has, for nearly 4 years now, given us everything that we could have ever wanted. This is our best.
I think you will get 4 or 5 players at bare minimum, Newcastle. I'm expecting you to go big, and I think you'll know that, like, goalkeeper, defender, winger, midfielder. I think you will. I think you'll go big, and I think you should. 4 windows without spending. Newcastle got all the money in the world. I expect them to go for a title race next season. I don't think they'll win the title.
Will lessons be learned from last season with Gahey, though?
Well, we're not making that mistake again. And the reason why.
That's what I mean.
The reason why I say that is because Paul Mitchell came in halfway through that summer and hadn't had a chance to put his list together, to do his research and to do all the rest of it. He was just going off what Eddie Howe wanted at that time, and that was it. Like, we're not in that. We're not in. That was a completely different moment to where we are right now. We were in a mess last summer, absolute mess, with Amanda Staveley leaving, with Elliot Anderson being sold, with Gordon's head being turned, which is very, very clear it's been turned for his performances this season. We are not in that same moment right now. So I do not anticipate anything similar to what we experienced last summer. We are going to go for targets. I think we might go back for Gay, but it'll be a case of, right, we go to Palace and go,
he's coming home, mate.
You might well do, and that's absolutely fine. But this is the difference. Newcastle United are going to go, this is what we want to pay. We've got Champions League football. Do you want to come and play for us? And if Palace mess around with the fee and try and get Chelsea to come in and offer more and more, we'll just go, yeah, forget it. We'll go somewhere else. And that's what we will do. That's what we'll do. But we will get the right players in the summer. No doubt about it.
Well, look, I mean, the last few games, Gyökeres has left Isak dead in the water. So hopefully you can keep hold of Isak and he continues to fail. And we'll get Gyökeres. And Gyökeres, the Glock, will fire us to the league title. That's what I hope now.
Just let Isak get his groin surgery, and then he'll be fine. He's been playing with that for the last
I'm joking, man. You know my thoughts on Isak, man. You know my thoughts on Isak. Just quickly before we come to a close, Billy and Dan, obviously, I imagine you're going to the market, and Lawless, to be fair, because you need to seriously as well. What are you three saying?
Revolving door at Bodymore Heath. I think it's going to be another summer of shit ton of ins and probably even more outs. I've no idea the kind of players that will be going, that will be staying, that will be bringing in. I have no idea, but I know for a fact that they're going to have a revolving door at Bodymore Heath, and there's going to be a lot of business going on. Yeah,
I'm expecting carnage. We've seen Tom Heaton signed a new deal, so that just shows where we are with our keepers. Brilliant. Obviously, the 3 left, we thank them for their services. Sir Jonathan Evans of Manchester, will never forget you. But yeah, there's a lot. I think Højlund potentially played his last game. For some reason, there's reports that the clubs in Italy want him, so that's good. I think we'll see Garnacho go. Garnacho has just turned into the biggest villain. I can't understand this guy. Plays like he thinks he's Ronaldo, but he's just so inconsistent and has such an attitude, a poor attitude. So I expect him to go. They're going to have to spend. I mean, Manchester United have got 100 million, haven't they? Straight away, well, 104.5 million because Chelsea are obviously paying us to take Sancho back, which is always fun. So there's going to be players go. We're going to make a lot of money, I think, this summer. I think we will make a lot of stuff. I think Rashford, obviously, that'll roll on and roll on and roll on. But Anthony just been recalled to the Brazil squad, so that's going to add value to his. Sancho will go back to Germany. I've no doubt about that. Onana, they reckon, is off to Saudi. So there's money to be made for Manchester United. But again, like I've said for the last probably 3 months, Manchester United fans, I hope Z's in the same boat as me, don't expect us to go out there and pull up these fantastically well-rounded Champions League-esque players because we're not in that competition anymore. There's still Man United fans who think we're getting Gyökeres. Let that go. That ain't happening. So I'm intrigued to see who he buys. The Mbeumo one's an interesting one. I'd be very happy if we got him. Cunha's done. That's pretty much done. That gets announced tomorrow or the next day. That's really good. I can't put it into words. I'm so excited about that signing. So excited. And we just have to move from there. We need 2 strikers. I think that's a given. We need 2 strikers, a goalkeeper. We desperately need someone on the right. I just don't think Dallow's it. And Mazraoui's been great, but we need someone to push there. And I think we need a replacement for Casemiro because I think he goes in the summer. But it's going to be an interesting summer for Manchester United. And also, by the way,
2 or 3 windows, isn't it, Dan? It's going to take 2 or 3
windows. Of course it is. Look, again, this is my last appearance on here probably for a while because I don't expect us to be pushing anywhere near Champions League or anything like that. I've been very consistent with this. We have to just make sure we see an improvement, a steady improvement. And it's going to take a while, but it's going to have to happen. Just quickly on Casemiro as well. Someone put King Hoddle, Casemiro's got no legs left. Again, another positive for Manchester United is that Ancelotti's recalled him back to the Brazil squad. So that's more for us. I think you'll get more suitors. So for me, it's going to be a very, very interesting summer as a Manchester United fan. And actually, I think it could be one of the most exciting for a few years because we're doing something already we haven't done for a long time. Like the fact that we're getting a signing, this signing was pretty much done before the season ends. We never normally do that. So see what happens.
Yeah, man, long way to go. I think West Ham as well going to have to be busy, Lord. It's just been a shambles for you, brother.
Like Billy said, a lot of ins and even more outs. That's, as Billy said, that's what it's going to be, mate. It's an exodus going on. We've just got rid of, obviously, let go Ings, Soufal, flipping Fabianski, Creswell. It looks like we're offering another deal to Antonio because I guess we feel sorry for him. Have your little goodbye, which apparently he's like not happy with the terms. He's not happy.
I heard that. Yeah, he wants more money, doesn't he?
He's lucky to fucking get anything, man. No one's giving him a contract anywhere. Like
that's mad. That's actually mad, you know.
Yeah, he wants more money. It's like, mate.
Apparently, Moyes wants Souček. Is that right?
Yeah, Moyes wants Souček. He's actually scored I think he scored 10 goals for us this season. He's actually scored quite a few goals.
Yeah, he does score. He does score for you. And what's it? Kudus is going, yeah.
Yeah, the big thing is going to be what happens with Paqueta because we find out soon his verdict. I think in June what the verdict is, and then Kudus is heavily linked with Saudi. He rejected a couple of Saudi clubs to join us. After a couple of years, we will probably want to cash in. He's not been consistent. It's just not happened for him this season, so he'll probably go. And then, it's going to be who else can we shift on? Maybe Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez. They'll definitely be there. Alvarez could go. We need to rebuild our entire midfield.
Getting rid of everyone.
Yeah. Honestly, it is a lot of outs. Maybe
Lawless, how much money you got? How much money you got to spend?
Well, they do this every year, but they're putting the reports out that they're pleading poverty. Oh, we ain't got a lot of money because this, and I don't know whether to believe them, but this is the thing. Obviously, whatever we raise in sales, we can spend. So if we was to sell Paqueta and Kudus, you know what I mean, at least 150 mil. So and then on top of the bits and pieces we get for other from other players, we'll see, man. But this team. It is the slowest team in the league. So I just want to see some pace. It's not hard to improve on what we have now. Give me younger, fitter, quicker players. and then we'll start to see a better West Ham and a new midfield. We have the worst midfield in the league, so fix that, and we'll see improvements. Then we've got youngsters to come in. So, yeah, man, I just don't know. Like Dan said, it's going to be chaos, man. I have no hope or anything. I just want to see what happens.
David Sullivan out, bruv. That's what it should be.
No, yeah, he's got to be out. Like I said, I'm. There's a good chance I'm not renewing my season ticket.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people are in the same boat, hit him where it hurts in the pocket. And I think he's going to see and he's going to feel it, because this is what pisses me off when I hear about flipping Pete talk about how he's got his director of football sorting this and sorting that out, and he's here for sorting things out. It's just like, we've got David Sullivan is back to being our director of football. Fucking disgrace. A man who made fucking pornos in the 70s is our director of football.
It's a joke, man. Honestly, it's a joke, bro. I do feel for West Ham fans. I don't particularly like West Ham, but I do feel like, how are they supposed to move forward with someone like that in charge? Like, it's just a joke, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is, man. Absolutely crazy. But look, man, we do say goodbye to someone tonight. Obviously, one of the OGs. Dan has been here since day one. And to be fair to him, he's been a good mate of mine. And to be fair, since starting the channel, has made his appearance from day one and stuck with us, because Man United weren't as dusty as now. Guard of honor for Dan. He's still going to be part of
guard of shame. Actually, guard of shame.
Don't do that, Nicholas. I was happy to see you tonight. Lawless, do you know something? I straight up welled up when you appeared. I was like, fucking brilliant.
I had to come and see you off. Bring it. The last of the people that was here on the first episode.
No, you've been great, bro. And I mean, obviously you're not leaving 12 man. You'll still be on the other shows, but you won't be on here unless Manchester United sort their shit out, which could take a couple of seasons. Who knows? But bro, been a pleasure, and it's always good chatting to you. Been good banter. Been a great lad on here, and thank you, man. Thank you for turning up every week, and thank you for your reliability and for your hard work on the channel, for always helping us out over here, mate.
No, I appreciate it, mate. Honestly, I'll still be, logging in as a fan. I echo what I said before. You guys have helped me through a lot. We've got a great community here, and it's something that you should be very, very, very proud of, Potts. I've been so blessed to be here from your first show, and just push on. I think you've got great things coming on, and I'm excited to see where it goes. It's not the end of me completely though, guys, because shameless plug, 21st of June is when my YouTube channel launches finally, after 75 years of threatening it. I'm finally doing it. But look, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I mean this. Thank you so much, lads, for being great. You've always been fantastic with me, and I've enjoyed every single second on here, and the chat as well. The chat have always been fantastic. So thanks for the love, and hopefully it's goodbye for now, but not forever. Oh my God!
Follow Dan on Twitter. Please get him over 100 followers on Twitter, please. This drives me crazy. I'll be encouraging Dan to use Twitter more.
Have you noticed? Sorry, Lawless. Have you noticed? I've actually, and I tell you something. If I do manage to do something decent on YouTube, it's because of you, mate. Because you're the one. I should have changed it tonight. So the YouTube channel's Dan United. I've changed my Twitter to Dan United. That's something that you've been pushing on me for a long time. So that's where we're going with it.
Was like, football's what I want. Like, and I was like, just change it to Dan United. What does that mean?
Yeah, I love that, man. Now, listen, big up to you, man, and make sure you're following Dan United on all socials now. So that'll be it. It won't be United first. I mean, he's realised that United 15th isn't really going to do too well, so he's gone for Dan United. And
hey, we've gone up in the table, lads. We're 14.
Well, look, Dan, if you get to the start of 2026 and United are in the top 6, you might get another invite, bro. So let's see where you go, man. Let's see.
I'll have to check the diary.
Absolutely. Listen, people, I just got to chuck a quick sponsor up for today, because it is football prizes time, and there's a few weeks left for this one. It is, of course, the Thierry Henry signed shirt, so please make sure that you're all getting involved in this one if you're a massive Arsenal fan, and make sure you go and check out football prizes, people. This one is one that I think a lot of Gooners would absolutely love, so please make sure you're in for this raffle prize. You've got, as you can see there, 13 days left, so please make sure, just for 79 pence per ticket now, it's been discounted as well, so make sure you go click on the link in the description, or just go to footballprizes.co.uk and you can see all the competitions there, in particular this one. So make sure you show them some love. They've been brilliant to us. So make sure we show them some love as well.
Make sure you
follow me.
enter, because you don't want me entering and winning it and hanging it in my toilet. So win it so I don't win it.
That's it, man. Or if Lawless does win it, then maybe you could send it on to one of the subscribers in here, man. So yeah, let us know if you do win it as well, yeah, because we did have someone win on Judge's show and on this show and on Tom Canton's show as well. So please make sure if you do win, let us know, because I'd love to let Jack and the guys know of football prizes as well. So big up to you guys. Make sure you're following Charlie on Blue Brother CFC, Billy on AV Billy, Pete on Loaded Mag in UFC, Dan on Dan United, not United First anymore, and of course Lawless at Lawless Live. Big up to LB, Deji and Wolfie that were also on, and of course to Errol. We'll see you next time. That is it from us for Race for Europe. We'll do some shows and some transfers and some other bits and pieces. But until then, we'll see you next time. We're out of here. Take it easy and see you next time.
Fuck Villa.
Villa.